Hey, it's Chris. You might have seen pictures of LeBron James rocking some new Beats lately. Well, those were the Studio Buds. And I've got them right here. Like LeBron, I've been testing them out for a little while ahead of their public release. And I gotta say, I'm pretty impressed. I'm gonna go ahead and stick these in the ears right now so that for the rest of the video, you can see what they look like actually being worn. But the Beats Studio Buds are true wireless noise canceling headphones that support spatial audio, come in 3 colors, and give you up to 8 hours of listening time for 150 bucks. Which is $100 less than Apple's AirPods Pro. Now in this video, I'm gonna give you my review of the Studio Buds, and I'm gonna compare them frequently to the AirPods Pro. And I'm also gonna spend some time talking about spatial audio and whether or not it makes a big difference, since that is a feature here and could play into your purchase decision. Now, I'm not doing an unboxing for you guys today because when I got these, I had to rip right in and try them out. And I'm not kidding here, okay? The first time that I listened to them, I decided immediately that for music, I preferred the sound of the Studio Buds to the sound of my AirPods Pro. Clearer, richer, more powerful. These are 3 words that consistently came to mind when describing the sound of the Studio Buds versus my AirPods Pro when I was doing some listening tests, when I was listening to some songs that I wouldn't necessarily listen to for fun, but they made a good sonic sampling so that I could compare the sound signatures. For instance, when I was listening to Bind, I could hear some record noise in the background, scratching along, standing out, not getting drowned out. I Don't Care had some vocals and some bass that both came through simultaneously, unhindered. And Fake Plastic Trees sounded just like an actual band playing live in a room. And then Doing It Right was really interesting to me because the 3rd kick in the 4-kick pattern, which is extremely low, didn't get distorted in the slightest, which I found really impressive. Now, in the noise canceling and transparency modes departments, I gotta tell you, I definitely prefer my AirPods Pro. The thing is, with the AirPods Pro, I could notice a huge difference, very noticeable, between active noise canceling, so drowning out the ambient noise, and transparency mode, not drowning out that noise. In fact, piping some of that noise into my ears so that I could be more aware of my surroundings. And just with the Beats Studio Buds, it just wasn't as clear, the difference between the 2 modes. All right, let's talk about spatial audio. So both the Studio Buds and the AirPods Pro support spatial audio. Spatial audio is music that's been freed from channels. No mono, no stereo. You're getting full immersive 3D sound on the right tracks. And that's really the key for me. I say on the right tracks because in order to take advantage of spatial audio, you have to have a musician and a sound engineer or a team of people who are utilizing this format to its fullest and purposefully picking and mixing things to take advantage of what spatial audio can offer. Now let's talk about 2 things, lossless audio and spatial audio. Lossless audio, if you took 100 people off the street and you gave them a track in lossless and in compressed form, 99% of those people are probably not gonna notice the difference, okay? But with spatial audio, the good news is that a lot of people could notice the difference, although it may be a little bit subtle and it may take a little time to understand all the nuances. Now, personally, as I dove into the spatial audio format and tried to wrap my ears around it and really understand the benefits versus, what I'd been used to in the past, I didn't get it immediately. I was listening to the demos and hearing it when it was turned on and turned off and trying to discern the differences. And honestly, I was like, what's the big deal at first? But then as time progressed, the point at which I realized that, spatial audio actually is something, when I had that breakthrough, was when I went back to non-spatial audio music that didn't have that mix. And I realized that it actually sounded rather flat. Some of my favorite tracks, they didn't sound quite as good as the music that I had been listening to that did have the spatial audio mix. So as it relates to the Studio Buds here, I would say for $150, being able to take advantage of spatial audio is pretty cool, as inconsistent as it is kind of right at the launch here. All right, let me just talk a little bit about the design of the buds and the fit in the ear. Those are 2 important things. Now I have to say, I love AirPods. They're very iconic in terms of their aesthetic and the design. So I have to admit, I've been kind of biased towards that AirPods design because I like it, because it's familiar, but these Studio Buds got me converted over pretty quickly because they're so small. And they're not just small compared to the AirPods Pros, but they're small compared to just the wider world of competition out there in this space. They're really small. And actually, when it comes to music, the sound versus the size is kind of remarkable. because they use a really cool dual driver, and I'm not going to get into all the technical details. I just want to leave you with the impression that it sounds really good. But yeah, wow, for the size, they punch. Regarding the fit versus my AirPods Pros, I have to say these fit in my ears better than my AirPods Pros. The Pros are not uncomfortable, but they do tend to fall out a little bit. It could be a little bit better of a fit. These studio buds, though, have been a perfect fit from day one. Now, you can adjust the ear tips on both of these products, and everybody's ear sizes are very different, so me telling you that these are a good fit for me is basically useless information to you. But I think what is relevant is that these seem to have a better seal. And what that has to do with is noise isolation. So you can have noise cancellation, which is computational algorithms trying to filter out, the background ambient noise. And you can also have the noise isolation, just the fit, how it fits in your ears and seals out physically, not computationally, the sounds that are around your head. And the fit and the isolation on these studio buds, that has been superior versus the AirPods Pro for me. The other thing I want to point out is that the studio buds are really comfortable for long listening sessions. So I could wear these easily for hours at a time without experiencing any kind of ear fatigue. Now, it's not like the AirPods Pros were uncomfortable in my ears. They weren't. But you don't want to buy earbuds that, even if they sound really good, don't feel good. And that is not the case here. These have been great in the ear. Now, the top of this ridge on the outermost part of either earbud functions as a button. And here's what I have to say about this button. The button is very easy to press. Now, that's good and it's bad. Mostly good. I don't want a button that's hard to press because that creates some undue, unwanted pressure in your ear canal. So the downside, though, is that, if I've just been adjusting this, I've oftentimes accidentally paused my music because that button is rather sensitive. Now, regarding the case is a really great size, good shape, fits into the pocket nicely, and it's bafflingly light. How they got this to be as strong as it is and as light as it is in the same package is pretty mind-blowing. Not that it matters, but for you fidgeters out there, it does have a really satisfying snap when it closes as well. Listen to this. Now, the case is a little bigger than my AirPods Pro case, even when it has a leather case on, which really isn't a big deal, but I do wish that it had wireless charging like my AirPods Pro do, because that's something I love and use all the time with the AirPods Pro. Just drop it on a wireless charger and forget about it. Because with the Beats case, having to keep track of an extra cord and having to physically plug it in is definitely less convenient, even though it does have quick charging. So you can get up to an hour's worth of juice with a 5-minute charge. That's nice, but wireless. That's something that once you've had it, it's hard to not have. Here's something that's kind of crazy. For the first time in Beats history, these buds have one-tap pairing with not just Apple devices, but also with Android devices, which is definitely nice. So here it is. Here's my conclusion if you're looking at these two products. The Studio Beats Pro are my pick for listening to music. If music is what you care about the most, if that's what really matters to you, then this is my pick. However, if active noise cancellation and transparency modes are a big deal to you, then I would absolutely spend the extra money and go with the AirPods Pro. Also, let me just point out that the AirPods Pro do have some extra software features over the Studio Buds. Like what? Like being able to pair once with your iPhone and then switching devices like your Mac or your iPad and having your earbuds follow you around without having to do any extra pairing. That's called automatic AirPod switching, and you don't have that with the Studio Buds. You're gonna have to repair it every time you sit down in front of a new device. The other thing is no shared audio with the Studio Buds. So if you want to have a social music experience with somebody, and you both have wireless earbuds like AirPods, then you don't have to share AirPods. That's dirty, that's gross. You can each have your own set and listen to the same thing. You can't do that over here. All right, that's it for this video. I hope you guys liked it, found it useful. I'll probably be talking more about these Studio Buds and the whole experience in the upcoming podcast episode, so you can get yourself subscribed if you want to do that. And wow, I got a lot of cool accessories for all my Apple devices sitting up in the office. So hit subscribe if you're new around here, because I don't want you to miss them when they hit the channel. Otherwise, I think that's it for this video, and I'll catch you guys later.